Hello and welcome. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Bitbucket integration on how to connect a repository within Bitbucket to a Qordoba workspace, as well as how to send content to and from that repository with Qordoba. Before we begin, I've already created a sample repository within Bitbucket that we're going to use as our demo today. So I'm in the first step of creating a new workspace in Qordoba, and we're going to look for the Bitbucket integration. When setting up any workspace, you need to identify your workflow, as well as your source locale, and any personas or locales you want to translate into. Let's do Japanese for this demo. We support all file format types, but I'm going to be using JSON for this example. Great. Make sure you select your TM and your glossary as well when setting up this workspace. Now, I have already authorized my account within Bitbucket. If you need to authorize your account, a pop-up can occur that will grant access to your account to access the repositories needed. Oops. Give it a second to retrieve the content. Excellent. Bitbucket integration demo. Now I've selected the repository, we have to choose our protected branch. Now the way the integration works is we choose a specific branch to watch as Qordoba, and any PR that gets sent to it, regardless of who sends it or where it comes from, is going to trigger Qordoba as part of the status check. We look for specific files to pull in that you can control via the type of file that we selected previously with JSON, as well as a whitelist that you can identify a very specific file path in order to send the correct content and only the correct content to Qordoba. I'm also going to select a resource file output. This is simply a naming convention for the returned files to Bitbucket. Great, I've created the workspace. This has now added a webhook to my Bitbucket repository, and we're now ready to send content. So what I'm going to do is add a file on a brand new branch and send it to Qordoba. This will be our English draft.json. We take a look at the file we're going to be sending today. It's a basic JSON with key value pairs in English. I'm just going to paste that in here, and I'm going to commit it on a separate branch and send a pull request to my master branch, which is where Qordoba is looking for PRs. Excellent. And if you refresh the page, you can see one of one has failed. Qordoba has recognized that this file does not have translated content for it, and as such has paused this pull request and pulled content into Qordoba. If I refresh the page, you can now see here we have my feature branch, English draft JSON created, as well as the file itself. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is this Q18N. What Qordoba does at this point is it creates an additional branch within Bitbucket that we're going to be doing all of our commits, and the end PR is going to come from once this content is finished localizing. You can see the status says opened. This is going to be a tracker for where the content is in its flow throughout Qordoba. Let's go into the file. Now you can see you have your English source on the left and your machine translation provided on the right. This machine translation is proprietary to Qordoba. As linguists edit and improve this content, the machine translation learns from the linguist edits, and as you continue to use the platform, provides better and better suggestions. It's as simple as making edits, as you can see. Linguists will come in here and make any changes they deem necessary. Let's keep that exactly as it was. There we go. You can also use comments, so you can tag individuals if you need to talk to anybody. If Jessica needs to change something, please update this example. Jessica will get a notification and she can come to the platform and work on this segment. You can also drag and drop images here to provide some context for your linguists. I'm going to go ahead and select all and complete this content. There we go, completed. Because there's only a single workflow step, I'm able to complete immediately. However, Qordoba supports having multiple workflow steps if you'd like to break your content into more steps to make sure you have quality content. Often companies will have 2 to 3 workflow steps, The first workflow step being linguist and copywriter review of machine translation, Second step could be product manager review, and sometimes a third step for perhaps legal review, just to triple check everything. Great. Back in the content root, we can see that what once said opened says pending, and this status here says completed. Now what happens is, because Qordoba recognizes that all of your content is completed, there's no reason for us to continue holding on to it. We have automatically sent a PR back in Bitbucket with the localized content. If we come back to Bitbucket and look at our pull requests, we have 3 branches here. We have our master, we have our English draft, and we also have the Qordoba Q18N branch. If we look at our pull requests, you can see that we still have the original from our English draft to master, and we also have from Qordoba's Q18N branch to the engineer's original feature branch. We take a look at the file. It keeps the same key structure, except your English content is now localized into your language. Let's go ahead and merge this into our feature branch. Excellent. If we look at our pull requests, we now have this one that is no longer being blocked because Qordoba recognizes for each of your languages you have content for each of your strings. Let's go ahead and merge this into master. Excellent. That is the full flow of content to and from Qordoba. To recap, your engineer would start with a resource file in Bitbucket and simply send a PR to the protected branch that Qordoba is watching. That engineer can then do whatever else they need to do for your company, as engineering time is extremely valuable. We automatically parse your file and pull your content into our platform, where linguists, copywriters, and product managers can all work on it. Once that content is done, we automatically send a PR back to the engineer who originally created this content, and he can merely accept it and merge his content into the protected branch. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.